Hello and welcome to Beyond Business, the program where we track the latest trends in the global economy. Is Venezuela open for business? President Hugo Chavez has been upping the pressure on foreign and domestic firms. Either they buy into his economic model or they face nationalization. Energy, banking, retail, no sector has been left untouched by the dictates of President Chavez. Last year alone, some 250 companies were nationalized. But despite the hazards of doing business there, it seems many multinationals in their quest for new growth markets will not be discouraged. They're keen to get a slice of the pie in Latin America's largest oil producer, even at what could turn out to be a very high price. Joining me to discuss the economy of Venezuela under Hugo Chavez's stewardship, Jacques Sapir, Director of Research at the School for Higher Studies in Social Sciences here in Paris. We'll be speaking in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at this report filed by Victor Meinial and Valérie Labon.
March 2009. Hugo Chavez has already begun expropriating local and foreign companies. But this time, the president warned the owner of Venezuelan food giant Empresas Polar he could go one step further.
We could expropriate all plants belonging to Polar. Mr. Mendoza, I warn you, because you'll send your lawyers to say that the intervention's a violation of the Constitution. Well, fine. If you want to fight the government, brother, go ahead. The fight isn't against the government, it's with the law.
2 months later, in May 2009, the Venezuelan government took over U.S. energy company Williams, just 2 years after nationalizing the oil-rich Orinoco Belt. And in February 2010, Chavez went after Casino, nationalizing its affiliate Éxito. He accused the French supermarket giant of suddenly raising its prices. The government then went after Casino's other brands.
I am sure that we can reach an agreement whereby the revolutionary government will own all of Cativen, all the Cada stores, all the Éxito stores, with their distribution centers and fleet of trucks approved by the vice president, so we can begin the process on the road to socialism.
Rumbo al socialismo.
After repeated nationalizations, it's unclear whether the road to socialism is big enough to include private companies and, most of all, foreign ones. But some experts say multinationals are welcome. In fact, there are a number of them competing for a share of the Venezuelan market.
The Chinese are very present. They've become Venezuela's second trading partner and exporter. The Germans also have a very strong presence, as do the Spanish, and of course the Americans. France is holding its own, in fourth place in the list of investors.
To set up shop in Venezuela and avoid state takeover, there are a number of rules to abide by.
When you invest in Venezuela, you have to show you're willing to invest socially.
In other words, the company shouldn't just make money. It should also invest in projects that help the population. But there are other rules as well.
Transferring technology is also a determining factor, as is the desire to participate in technical and professional training.
This policy of forcing companies to invest socially has proved a success. According to the UN, the poverty rate fell by half these last few years, restrictive as the policy may be for multinational corporations.
Last year, 257 companies were nationalized in Venezuela. Despite this, there are ways to do business in the country, as long as foreign companies respect the way things work. In the end, companies are set up to transform the political regime in which they operate.
Playing by the rules, accepting constraints, securing investments. Constructing companies like Lafarge or Holcim are aware of the risks and they accept them because the benefits are worth it.